Something tells me my background's a little revealing.
There you go. Destroy all monsters is everything. I mean, it's everything. It's everything. It's everything. Destroy all monsters.
At the turn of the century, Earth's monsters have been safely rounded up and studied on Monsterland. Chaos erupts when a race of she-aliens known as the Keloks unleashes the monsters across the world. So I did some research because I didn't know anything about this really, and I found out this was their kind of like, we're not going to do this anymore. This is our last. This is like our Avengers. We're going to get all the suits out, everything out of storage. Every monster's in this one.
Now, this is the story of my watching this film. I watched like 2 minutes of it, and I was like, okay, and I shut it down, I stopped it, and I said, okay, I've got a new film for Friday night movies. Because we play movies for all the kids, all the grandkids on Friday nights, right? And I played this one for Friday night movies, and I have to tell you, the kids howled. This was the funniest thing, and I gotta tell you, I was right there with them. I loved this movie. I loved this movie.
My only complaint is that it kind of slows down, it speeds back up, slows down. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're right. But at the same time, no matter what's happening, you're in these wonderful, weird sets.
Yes.
These like retro.
And the outfits. It was like there was one scene where they're yellow and red with like McDonald's.
Oh yeah, and then they go to the moon, and the moon is done in this like bright fluorescent green, with like a teal color as an offset color, and they're just bright in like yellow outfits, right? When they're on the moon, the yellow outfits when they're on the moon.
Yes.
And if you thought it wasn't got it,
and the helmets with the little pointy thing.
Yeah, and then it was like you thought, wow, this is just great. And then half of them in the yellow outfits turn out to be the bad guys that are fighting the other half in yellow outfits, and you had no idea what's going on, and it's still hilarious.
What was funny to me was that this was set in 1999, the distant future.
The distant future.
And this actually caused a lot of sequels, so obviously it was popular.
Yeah, well, come on. you got your every goddamn monster you could imagine. You got the, every. If I had to like say that it was a cross between one thing and another, I would say it was Godzilla meets the Thunderbirds.
No, totally.
Because it totally had. It was as if the guys in the Thunderbirds came in and did all the models and.
The miniatures.
And the miniatures.
I'm still trying to figure out how Mothra came out of an above ground subway.
Yeah, right. And Mothra was like pretty young,
right?
Because he was still a caterpillar,
right? Yeah, that was confusing.
Yeah, it was. But also the thing is you had three obvious takeoffs on dinosaurs on Tyrannosaurus Rex, which one of them looks like a kid of the other one.
Yeah, that's the son of Godzilla, right? The one that's the smoke rings.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name. It was Manila. Was it Manila?
And all he did was like go around like this, and then you thought, well, this guy isn't any help at all, and then he blows a magic smoke ring that goes out and chokes this guy to death, and you go, oh!
See, if I was a monster, I'd be like that one. I'd be like the one that's goofing off.
Yeah, goofing off.
Then I do something cool, then I leave.
And that's the great thing is he had the big eyes, and he kind of like looked like he did dance numbers and shit like that. Oh man!
Did you notice at the end that a bunch of monsters were there that weren't even in the movie?
Yeah, I noticed. You're right though. It's like every suit that you could possibly imagine came out. You had the turtle monster. You had the three reptile monsters. You had the flying monster that was going around on a string up above you. And the weird thing was this is like Rodan. It was Rodan.
Yeah, Rodan's cool. I like him.
Rodan was hilarious because Rodan never even moved. Rodan was exactly what you thought he was. Rodan was a piece of plaster on a stick, or on a string, and he just went, and that was it. I was like, wow, man. It's like nobody was trying very hard, but what they made up for. What they didn't do in trying hard is they made up for in just sheer numbers and colors and explosions and everything you could imagine.
This was the Avengers of Godzilla.
It was
basically.
It was. God, and I gotta tell you something. By the end of it, I was thinking, this is my favorite movie that I've seen in at least 20 years. I mean, really? it was just so... It
was really fun to watch it. Well, I wish they would have had more buddies, like, them hanging out more. They were just kind of coexisting. I kind of wish that you could have seen Godzilla, like, hitting... what's his name? Rodan or whoever on the back, like, hey, buddy.
What was great, not only that, you had the weirdest love story, kind of love story going on, because she gets possessed.
Yes,
and then goes over to the other side.
Magic earrings.
And then the thing is there wasn't any one single thing that made her come back. It's just all of a sudden she's back on the right side.
Well, they ripped her earrings off. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right. And what? Like, how could it be earrings? I mean, it was. And here's what I didn't figure out. Okay, so it was the earrings, right? So why didn't the guys that ripped the earrings off get possessed, huh?
Yeah, I was actually wondering that when he was holding him, like...
Yeah, he was holding them like this, and I was going, was he going to go... No,
I like when the temperature got too cold, and they're like...
Yeah.
They're like melting.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, this is it. You know that you've got too much stuff in the script where the way that they actually make you disappear from the frame is you just lower yourself out of the frame, right? You're going, man, we're doing too much here. Listen, we were gonna make you like transport out of this scene, but I just think instead, we got explosions and everything. Look, nobody will notice if you guys just lower yourselves out of the screen.
Well, how'd the director do that? Okay, here's your motivation. You're turning into a sperm. You're gonna melt into a sperm.
Which was great because they didn't do it just once. They did it several times.
Yeah. Actually, my favorite shot in the whole movie was the guy that got shot in the head, and he's kind of like... He made some stupid face.
Yeah, bro. There was also this scene where they drive this little moon vehicle. And it's great because literally they drive the moon vehicle 20 feet. I mean, they all get into this moon vehicle and it goes down and the door goes, and it takes about 20 minutes to get down, and they get out and they're all in this little moon vehicle, and it literally went not even out of the side of the rocket. The rocket was right there. Boom, and they go up. Okay, well, we're gonna like use the blaster. Boom, boom.
It was a small set.
Yeah, it must. It was, but it was great because the thing is what it lacked in distance, it must have made up in firepower because the rocket went right through and literally just destroyed everything. I was like, wow, there was a sense of proportion that was kind of missing right in that scene, right?
Oh, but there was some. Actually, I take it back. My favorite scene was actually when Godzilla was in Tokyo. There's all these fireworks going off and lasers.
Oh yeah,
that was like amazing.
Yeah. You know what? They must have like emptied the streets of just fireworks in general, because they were every fireworks and monsters and every and a cast of thousands. I mean, there was just people and monsters and creatures and vehicles.
Well, it was the last time we were going to see Godzilla, so.
Yeah, and then there was and then they were on the moon. They were down below, and then they were trying to get from the moon. down, and what's really great is they do that really obvious turn the camera to the side.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that. It was like you could tell that it was somebody holding it because it was very
right,
rough.
right.
It was
Because it's gonna, and they turn the camera to the side to make it look like it, and it has to go in reverse because the ship has to go. Yeah, the ship has to go, and then the ship comes down backwards, and it's back. And what was great was there was one really uncomfortable moment when you saw them when they were on the moon, and they had to twist to try and get out of that, where they're sitting like straight up.
Yes.
And you were like, no, you're just standing there and the camera's on its side because the guy just kind of like starts to just get up and like, oh, wait, that. Cut.
Did you catch the early Lucasfilm or the early Star Wars backgrounds?
Oh, yeah.
I like that one shot where they had this background and they had these people come out from a car or from a truck.
Right.
It's like that was.
Right.
That probably took a lot of work back then because they had to like have them come out from behind the truck.
Don't
the screen behind it.
And don't get me wrong. I am not complaining about this film.
No, this is the charm of it.
It is just so multi-layered, and you're just sitting there going, God, how did they pull this off?
Well, they had the three main guys. I was actually looking into this. They had the three main guys that were all part of Godzilla, and I can't remember all their names. But I'm sure they just said, let's just throw all the stuff we have at
guys,
it.
Yeah, right.
let's just do everything in the script we could possibly think of.
Right, yeah. And literally they had, I thought this was really weird, is that they had the other side came up with the three-headed creature. Right, that could fly. And
Ghidorah, is that his name?
They
Ghidorah?
killed it by sitting on it.
The smoke ring too.
The smoke ring choked it out. One of the heads choked one of the heads out, and evidently it was lead head because the other two just went.
That was like a gangland murder. They were like stomping on him.
Yeah, and then all the monsters just got out and started stomping on them, and then standing on them.
Yeah,
it was like, wow, this is just there's just like some boom going on, It's like, wow.
Oh, and sadly, I kind of know something was off. I noticed in the Paris. There was a scene in Paris, and I was like, that monster looks kind of. I looked it up, found out that I was actually right. It wasn't the monster they said it was.
Which
they
one?
said it was Baragon was destroying Paris, and it didn't look like Baragon because Baragon.
It was.
Baragon has a big horn, right? And he's like,
right.
And so that was actually Gorosaurus.
Well, and I forgot they got to destroy the Arc de Triomphe, and they got to.
Well, that was the scene I'm talking about, and they used Gorosaurus, but they said Baragon, and they never corrected it in the script. So just and because they didn't have the suit on hand, apparently it was out of. I don't know what happened. Somebody borrowed it or something. I don't know, but it wasn't there in the stock, so they didn't
probably
use it.
The dry cleaner.
I think somebody took it home.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if I was the guy that was in the Baragon suit, I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take this home with me."
All right. It's not that continuity was a huge issue anyway.
Well, they only showed his front of his face.
Yeah, but oh god, it was so the monsters go through Europe and they took down Arc de Triomphe. Did they actually take down
Moscow?
Yeah, but did they take down the Eiffel Tower?
No, it was just the Arc de Triomphe.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was a very quick scene. Oh, he's destroying it in the crash. Next scene.
If you go to Paris, what? If you go to Paris, you have to go and destroy the Eiffel Tower. Come on, I mean, what kind of tourist, right?
Right.
Goes to Paris and it doesn't destroy the Eiffel Tower. That's just not even trying.
I think I'd be more like Ozzy Osbourne and probably pee on it or something.
Well,
the Arc de Triomphe, that is.
Arc de Triomphe. Yeah.
I think this was great. I mean, I liked it because I knew what it was before I went into it. It's because I'd seen it before. Yeah. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time since
I knew it was the end of the Toho era. It was like, hey, we're going to end this. This is it. This is our Avengers movie. Every monster's in it. And then we're done. And then 75 sequels later.
I think that there are just Godzilla films. There have been 36 that just Godzilla himself has shown up in.
Well, they showed a bunch of
and that's not including the American 4.
I think this started off the versus ones, like the Mothra versus blah blah blah, or actually Mechagodzilla was earlier, but like all the versus movies with all the other monsters. This is kind of the worldwide wrestling of monsters.
I kept waiting for Reptilicus to show up,
Oh, I just like this because another reason why I like this is because it actually shows the monsters being bad, like attacking things they wouldn't normally do. Like they wouldn't normally go into New York and just attack for no reason.
Right, because they were off the hook.
Yeah,
they were off.
This was like teenagers being bad.
Yeah.
This is Godzilla of the college years.
And I have to ask you this: it was interesting that they got off of the island, but how come they got off the island and they all came up out of the earth? I mean, I didn't understand that. I mean, it was like, really? I mean, you could have just walked.
Right. Well,
I mean,
it's more dramatic.
Swam. Yeah, no doubt. And drama.
Yes.
Was definitely they needed more drama in here.
Well, you had the flaming monster. That was kind of cool. That was some drama.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a spaceship, by the way.
I know.
Come on. Oh no, flaming dragon. Flaming dragon. Brought up the name. How you like that?
Yeah.
It was.
It was definitely Godzilla.
I cannot recommend. You know what? I'm not kidding. If you want to see the best film ever, get Young Frankenstein.
Yes, absolutely.
But this is the aperitif.
Yes. Well, so no, this was totally. This is like what would happen. So if anybody has a little Godzilla in their house, and they go to college, this is what happens if they join a fraternity.
Yeah.
That was a frat party gone wrong.
This is literally your mother always warned you about this.
Right.
Oh man, I had such a great time, and I literally sitting there watching this film, going, you know what? I should have more people in this house watching this. I mean, I had 4 grandchildren and me and my wife, and everybody just screaming hilariously. I had a 6-year-old that was rolling on the ground going, ee, ee.
I don't know I was trying to think of who my favorite monster was, but I can't really pick one.
By the way, I might add something. We had talked just recently about Godzilla's tail.
Watch that finger. Ow.
Yeah. Get it.
Ow!
I kind of beginning to lose sense of direction. We were talking not long ago. We had watched a Godzilla, and we were wondering about the long Godzilla tail.
Yes, and Shin Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla.
It was it was up here rather than down here.
Right, but I have to say, even this one, the tail was much longer in this than it was in the original. I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, it really was whipping around out there.
Well, he hit puberty. Right
on the side of the head. Anyway, yeah. So if I'd have to put a number on this sucker,
and keep in mind, you put 4.9 on the original Godzilla.
Yeah, yeah, this I gotta say 4.9. I mean, my only 5 ever is Young Frankenstein. So I have to just put it right up there. It was amazing. I am not kidding when I said I have not enjoyed myself as much in 20 years watching a film.
I enjoyed it too. I'd say I'm right there with you. I'm at 4.9, but it's because it's so campy and so weird and so funny, and everything was like it was lighthearted.
Now, I also have to say
you couldn't take it seriously.
I am not kidding. Originally, I started by reading it was English subtitles.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, they didn't need words for any of that. I mean, not a bit of it.
They weren't really right either. Because I was watching them.
No, I'm pretty sure.
I actually I'd like to hear the Japanese voices, just because, especially the way they acted out, especially the original. The Japanese, it was more dramatic,
right?
Rather than have somebody dub over something.
Oh no, it's a monster.
You know, doesn't have the same effect.
And it certainly wouldn't have been a problem getting lost in the script. You didn't need the words to get lost.
Right.
You could get lost all by yourself.
Yeah. You don't need words. This is a action movie.
I mean,
it's all
yeah.
visual.
Yeah.
Well, audio too. You have the, you know, that noises.
Yeah.
I like the scene where Mothra is like going towards a train, and you see the train from really high up. And wasn't that a cool scene?
That was, and by the way, how much foreshadowing can you have? Because you cut the Mothra coming.
Yes.
And you cut to the train coming. You cut to the Earth moving aside. You cut to the train coming. Mothra comes out of the hole. You cut to the train coming.
And he's moving so slow.
Yeah. And he's
I like that the train conductor just honks and dies. I'm like, wouldn't they jump out or something?
Yeah, there was also something about the model making not exactly being anywhere near of the quality of the original.
Yeah, this was Thunderbirds, definitely, for sure.
This is all Thunderbirds, you know. And by the way, you know, half quality Thunderbirds. They just threw that stuff together, and it was awesome because of it. It was better because of it, you know.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. There was. I remember that there was a tunnel that they had to go through. You know, like a covered tunnel out on the ocean.
Yeah.
And it literally was like it's supposed to be all modern and everything. It was like it was great, just great everything, just great. You go see it.
Yes. Does that train remind you of a movie you worked on called Runaway Train?
Runaway
in any
Train?
way?
As a matter of fact, I have a story about Runaway Train.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
To be continued. To
Tomorrow.
be continued. Mick will tell his story about Runaway Train on the Dream Warrior Review Podcast. To be continued.